Your head is not very aero.
I tested no glasses.
Speak for yourself.
And no glasses was faster than glasses.
Really?
Yeah, you know what? You know what's worse? Yeah, is no eyes. That's worse than all.
Corneas.
Yeah, I feel like in gravel racing.
What up, party people? We've got another fun one for y'all this week with talk about the latest helmet trends, more and more resembling something from an outer galactic universe, which I think is actually pretty cool, by the way. Then we get into some BWR recap from our boy Dizzle, who almost cracked the top 10 this past weekend, falling into 11th, before we transition over to quite an extensive conversation about this coming weekend's Valley of Tears race, which includes a Friday night dirt crit and then a 100-mile gravel race on Saturday. We got the start list, so we're talking through things like who our favorite picks are, what the conditions might be, and how that could change what that favorite pick is, and different things like tire options and equipment that might be needed because it's supposed to be hella cold on Saturday. Oh yeah, one more thing. Rusty's back, baby, after taking Keegan to the line this past weekend. Let's go. Speaking of taking something to the line, our homies over at SILCA want to make sure that you don't end your next race with anything short of getting to that finish line due to air whizzing out of your tires with the launch of their latest Ultimate Sealant 2.0. And if you don't want to take our word for it, just take the trusted age-old approach and use whatever the winner of the last race did, because that's exactly what Keegan Swenson did. He's a fellow SILCA athlete, and you can be sure that he had some Ultimate 2.0 in his tires. So head over to silca.cc today and use the code BonkbrosFiberFoam for 10% off, and make sure you get over there stat because this stuff is selling out quick. And on that note, make sure you've got some quality rubber that you're pouring that magic sauce into by heading over to Bike Tires Direct today to nab a pair or 5 of your favorite tires. And use the discount code BONKBROS for 10% off. If you have any questions or feedback for the show, you can drop us a note at bonkbrospodcast@gmail.com, or you can hit up the Bonk Bros Instagram page, or you can head over to Patreon and become a supporter and get priority of whose questions we're going to read first. All right, let's get this party started already.
I'm reading a tax form, actually.
Are you doing your taxes right now?
I am. I'm working on it, yeah.
Why do you feel the need to do other stuff while
as soon as because I have ADHD, Dylan? You don't know what it's like. You cannot relate.
Maybe he's just
as soon as there's like I don't know, any moment, I'm like, all right, what am I doing now?
I feel like there's multiple people on this podcast that have ADHD.
Probably.
At least 2.
That's why it's successful.
That's why it's Hey, you know what might help with that?
What?
Ketone light.
What is this? Like this? Okay, I hate to be the guy that's all about the money, but like this guy's not even paying us yet. Why are we promoting him so heavy?
I mean, he's paying us with liquid gold, basically.
Yeah, you know how expensive these things are?
It's like, yeah.
Look,
maybe we shouldn't
how
talk
much
about
is the ketone light? How much is the ketone light?
I don't know. Am I supposed to know?
I talked to this guy for like an hour on the phone. When I say this guy, for people who don't know, I'm talking about the guy who's in charge of Ketone Aid,
Frank,
which for some reason we're promoting so heavily, even though he doesn't pay us anything. But I still don't understand why you would drink Ketone Light over just the regular full strength ketones.
Because it tastes better.
Who cares about the taste, dude?
Normal people that aren't you.
It's not all about you, Dylan. I know you live in this whole Dylan Johnson's the greatest person on the planet world, but that's not the case.
How does drinking ketones have anything to do with how I'm the greatest person in the world?
Because you got to think about some people care about what it tastes like.
Those people should not be drinking ketones.
I will say that I'm looking at the website right now. The ketone concentrate is a way better deal.
Yeah, it's a better deal, and like you don't have to drink as much of it. Why are we even talking about this?
Because Scott was talking about his ADHD, and I was saying it could probably help.
Do you think it would? I don't think it would.
I think it will.
Probably would.
It definitely helps with concentration.
Okay.
You'd have to get a TUE for some other.
True.
I mean, it hasn't helped Scott at all pay attention on this podcast. Actually, no, I take that back. Last week, Scott was pretty focused.
Yeah, dude. It's been laser focus.
Yeah.
Even the guy that always hates on you in the comment section said you did a good job, Scott.
Really?
See, here's the other thing with Ketone Light. I haven't tried it yet, so maybe it is way better, but it says you have to take half a bottle, which seems a lot.
Start chugging, bro.
Was that half?
Almost full.
Does it taste better?
Laser focused.
Yeah, that does taste way better.
I don't even think the regular ketones are that bad.
No,
you get used to it.
You definitely get used to it, but this you don't have to get used to it. This just tastes like you're drinking a lemonade.
A lemonade. Wow.
Actually, it's a little more limey, so it's kind of like a limeade. Yeah, not bad.
All right. Well, can we actually talk about bike racing and not ketones for the 37th time?
I don't know. The only guy that raced his bike this last weekend is gone.
Yeah, but there was like
other
bike races
that are way more exciting than whatever he did.
For once, I agree with Scott.
All right.
I don't know. You guys watch Mullet?
Yep.
What do we? What's our opinion on the TT helmets in a road race?
I mean, it just is like I give it by the start of the tour, and everybody's wearing TT helmets in road races.
Or are they going to get banned?
Yeah, but like, what's the rule going to be? Because like, what's the difference between a TT helmet and a regular helmet? Like, the UCI needs a specific rule of some sort.
The UCI has banned certain TT helmets, though, right? So what is that rule?
I don't know. Have they?
The neck scarf one from Specialized.
Well, that was the scarf thing, but there was another one.
They banned the cask. Did you already say that?
No,
the cask.
Maybe that's what I was thinking of.
Just the little thing, tabs on their visor.
Okay. Oh yeah,
but they also did it like that's been a helmet for like over a year, and then they banned it the morning of the UAE time trial, or like the night before or something. So then, like you're in the UAE, what do you think? You just brought extra helmets in case they banned your helmet the morning of? Like no, so they probably had to like jerry rig or I don't know. It might have been removable, but
so are we talking about like who's got? I'm trying to find a picture of these helmets.
So the entire Viz. Are we talking? Well, I'm talking about how they wore TT helmets for Omloop. I'm not talking about the cast.
Van Aert? He's got one on, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is my ADHD shining.
Yeah, really. What I'm saying is like,
I mean, I would call that kind of like a hybrid. It's sort of like a modern road helmet almost, because we've seen. I mean, at least I've seen. I know Specialized has a helmet that looks very similar to this, and maybe this is a Specialized helmet. I don't know, but
it's not.
Well, Pac has the helmet that covers the ears. Cask has the road helmet that covers the ears.
Yeah,
like road helmets are starting to go down that path for sure.
Yeah.
But like what I'm saying is, if they're trying to ban TT helmets for hypothetically, because the UCI hasn't said anything about this, but if they were to try to ban TT helmets for road racing, they'd need a specific rule. They couldn't just say TT helmets are banned, because you could just say, oh, this isn't a TT helmet, it's a road helmet. Like that's just a label that you give a helmet.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I don't know what it would be. I was thinking the helmet was more extreme than this. I was sort of thinking too, like maybe it was like an integrated visor would be banned, but Giro's had an integrated visor on their helmet, their road helmet, for a long time.
I saw a slow-mo video of the Visma team wearing their weird looking TT road helmets, riding some cobbles, and the slow-mo, every single rider's helmets was just like bouncing all over their head, and I was like, that looks so goofy. Like
I saw the same.
Your helmet does that too.
Probably, yeah, I saw the same slow-mo, and I would say that probably any helmet that you wear, if you did a slow-mo over the cobbles, like everything bouncing a lot, including
it
your
looked
helmet.
worse because theirs are bigger, and I don't know. I just remember thinking like that doesn't look good.
Yeah. You know, when I went to the UK to do wind tunnel testing, we tested like 13 different helmets, and we tested some TT helmets, not every TT helmet, but we tested like maybe 2 or 3 TT helmets, and the TT helmets were not faster than the fastest Aero road helmet in like a normal riding position, not a TT position.
What was the fastest Aero road helmet?
I don't know if I should say on this podcast. I feel like I got to save it for my YouTube channel.
Oh my God. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. When did you do this test? You still haven't talked about it?
I did it in October.
Dude, that's last year. That's old.
Yeah, that's literally.
That helmet might not even be made anymore. It might be
Yeah.
a new, faster helmet.
Probably.
Or a new slower helmet that claims faster.
Are you wearing the helmet right now? Is that what's on your head right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hair
the
over.
fastest helmet was just like my hair all gelled up, you know?
Did you have to wear a helmet in gravel races? Have you tested no helmet?
I've not tested no helmet.
I think they have tested no helmet, and no helmet is slower. Your head is
actually
not very Aero.
I tested no
Speak for
glasses,
yourself.
and no glasses was faster than glasses.
Really?
Yeah, you know
How
what?
about
You
getting
know what's
dirt in your
worse?
eye?
Yeah, is no eyes. That's
Damage
worse
to
than
your
all.
corneas.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I
Worth
feel
it.
like I feel like in gravel racing, there should almost be a rule that you have to wear glasses because the amount of rocks that get flung into your face.
You get rocks in your eyes even with glasses on.
Yeah,
I'm
I
waiting
know.
for a chipped tooth. It's coming.
Yeah, the one gravel race that I did, which I won, by the way. I feel like I got hit in the tooth with a rock.
Yeah,
Like, are
Probably.
guys wearing mouth guards?
I was just
I mean-
thinking mouth guards would be sick.
They probably should,
Just
but they're
full
not.
face shields.
Yeah, dude.
yeah.
Also,
Like
The
Lance
amount of,
hated,
like-
dude. That's his moneymaker, man. He's got to protect that thing. He's got to protect that thing.
Uh-huh. Yeah. If Lance Hated ever retires from bike racing, he could pick up modeling for sure.
Yeah, he'd make a good bib model, jersey model.
I already just I saw him and Velocio just announce their like gravel hydration pack or whatever, or hydration pack.
Oh, really?
And Lance was
They're
in there.
doing a
yeah.
gravel hydration pack now?
Is it
Yeah.
like you're talking about a gravel hydration pack inside of your jersey?
No. It's sorry, it's just a hydration pack.
Yeah.
So
do you can you only use it on gravel, or
Tyler, why are you
like
even
walking around? my
Why are you even
neighborhood or
bringing that
something?
up? Who cares about a normal ass hydration pack?
Dude, because Lance is in there. Lance is
That's
the,
why he's bringing it
the
up,
model.
Dylan.
Yeah,
All right.
Lance is not in this model.
it's in the email.
Okay.
Can I here's a hot take. The whole Velocia thing where they just have plain jerseys, I'm not into that. I don't think it looks good. Like, for example, like Keegan and the whole hit squad, they're sponsored by Velocia this year. Are they just going to be in plain jerseys all year?
Yeah, dude, probably. Sick black jerseys.
Like that to me
Coolest
is
thing
such a
ever.
downgrade over the kits they had last year.
They're-
No, I'm
they're-
not even talking about performance wise. I'm just talking about style,
Yeah.
looks.
I always thought I actually didn't like last year's all that much, but previous years I always thought they had the sickest jerseys.
Well, they like the hit squad always had a very distinctive style with those Rafa jerseys, and you
Yeah.
know it changed a little bit year to year, and now they're just going to be wearing plain kits all year. Like,
That is what every Velocio rider has to wear. Like I don't think they do custom kits.
Yeah, but if
Yeah.
they're going to make an exception for anybody, I'm going to bet it's Keegan and the hit squad.
You think so? Because the thing is, I
I'm
feel
not
like
saying they
all
are.
black is kind of like on brand with Keegan though. So
Yeah, maybe.
I could see him not even wanting anything other than all black.
Yeah.
maybe.
Kyle Trudeau this weekend had an all black kit, but his was a custom all black kit. Like it had logos and stuff on it. And on the back of his bibs, it said for hire, and it had his like Gmail account. And I'm like, I don't know what he meant. Like, I don't know what that meant, but I did think it was funny. Like, am I supposed to hire you to work for me or like in the race?
I'm surprised you don't do that, Dizzle.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you
Pro
don't
Mass
just
Deep.
put your PayPal and be like,
Just a QR
tip me.
code straight up.
Must
Donations
pay for
accepted.
footage.
Donations accepted here, and then a QR code around my butt.
Mhm. Dizzle, do you know how the race played out at BWR? Or were you
Oh, there's
too
Lance
far back?
Vance.
Dang, Dylan. Yeah, I know how it played out.
All right, I don't know, dude. Sometimes
I
I don't know how the race plays out when I'm in the race because I'm too far back, bro.
Yeah, I wasn't with the leaders for that long. A little longer than I thought, but yeah, not long.
Well, are you gonna fill us in,
You
or
sound
are you
sad.
just gonna?
You sound real sad.
It was like to be expected for me, I guess. Like,
No. I'm talking about how the race played out at the front, bro. I'm not talking
race,
about
not
you.
your race.
I said I was sad, so I was responding to his remark.
Does he not sound like melancholy to anybody else?
Dude, Drew's mood can be all over the place. Sometimes he's like super excited, and sometimes like I don't know, life really.
No, I think I
Kicked
took
him in the gut.
I took a red eye that night after the race to get home as soon as possible, and I think it's still hitting me.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, like it's Tuesday, and I think I'm still tired from that stupid flight.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was this year they rerouted the course a little bit to where we went straight into the biggest climb on the race, and so basically the first 15 miles were all climbing, and most of it was paved, and then the last 2 or 3 miles was on dirt, and I think it was Rob Britton and Keegan were just at the front, like setting a really hard tempo up the climb, but like they weren't attacking. And then it kind of just gaps started to open once we hit the dirt. My boy Chase Wark had to pass Keegan on the climb at the top. And he was like, after the race,
What do you mean had to?
He didn't have to. He chose to.
Yeah, but Keegan was letting a gap open, so Chase had to pass him to stay with the leaders.
Wow.
I thought you said Chase was bad at climbing.
Yeah. That's the exciting part about this story.
So Keegan's washed.
If you had heard Chase talking about this after the
Keegan
race,
won the race. Keegan's not washed.
yeah,
It's
Keegan won,
over.
but Chase was so pumped.
over.
He's like, dude, I gapped Keegan on the climb.
You know what he should have done? He should have just hung on Keegan's wheel.
Yeah, probably.
And figured out what Keegan was doing right.
I think Chase said he hit the downhill because you go into the biggest climb into the gnarliest downhill of the whole race. And then the rest of the race after that is just a bunch of mountain bike trails and gravel roads, like pretty standard. But the first loop is definitely the most exciting. And I think Chase said he was at the top of the climb. He was third or fourth hitting the descent. And by the bottom of the descent, everybody had passed him and he was with me, and me and him were in like, I think we were in.
And it's hard to pass actually on that single track.
I know. I was thinking the same thing. And I think me and him popped out maybe like 7th and 8th. I think there was only 6 or 7 people ahead of us. Yeah. And then,
are you guys counting the group that was off the front early?
No, they got caught before the descent, or like on the descent. Like we caught all those guys.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
Tobin and Borstelman and whoever else was up there.
Tobin wasn't off the front, but Borstelman was, and then this younger kid.
Yeah, Tobin went into the single track second.
Yeah, there was
and
like
there's another guy, Jonas or something like that.
Jonas Woodruff.
Yeah.
I never passed Tobin, and Tobin was, and I beat Tobin. So I don't think so. I don't know.
I just watched the highlights,
Whatever.
man, and they showed him going in the single
Maybe it
track
was
second.
I don't know. Whatever. But
maybe it wasn't him. Maybe
me and Chase were chasing.
The black kit's hard to see.
Me and Chase were chasing pretty hard for like 30 miles from that section to McDowell. McDowell is like 30 miles of single track. We thought that front group might, sit up a little bit on the way to McDowell. And so me and Chase were chasing pretty hard, and we never like caught them. I think the gap went out.
Yeah, if Keegan's in the group, like they're not going to sit up.
Yeah.
Keegan doesn't let the group sit up.
Clearly. So we were the second group for a while, and then Chase dropped me in the mountain bike section, and then a couple other guys.
What the hell happened there?
I know. My back.
Whoa, dude! So much
back
for
got
Chase being a bad
jacked up.
mountain biker.
Yeah. Well, those aren't like true mountain bike trails, but yeah, he did drop me in the mountain bike trails. I had to tell him, like, dude, you don't have to wait for me. Like, you should just go because I don't feel very good. And then Kyle Trudeau caught me and a couple other guys, and he passed me, and I got totally out of his way, as polite as possible. But then I got on his wheel. So now I'm sitting second wheel in this little group of us. And then he flicks me through, and I was like, bro, I ain't pulling. I just straight up, I didn't want to because my back was killing me. And I just looked at him and said, Nah, I ain't doing it. He
Dude,
got pissed.
You and Kyle Trudeau have
he really
beef now.
doesn't like me.
You think he listened to the last podcast too?
I thought maybe he doesn't like me before, but now I can confirm he definitely doesn't like me.
He probably listened to the podcast where
And
you're talking shit
then he
about him from
proceeded
Big
to
Sugar.
like, well, but I was dying, and the two kids behind me, they were young kids. All of us were dying, and he's like he had crashed in the first section, doofus, and and so like he's clearly stronger than all of us, and he's flicking us through, and I'm like, dude, you're gonna go faster than all three of us, so why don't you just keep pulling, because you're just like
Was this on the mountain bike section still?
yeah. So I'm like, dude, just like, why do you even want me to pull through right now on the mountain bike section? Yeah, that doesn't even make sense. Like, I'm just gonna slow you down. Like, he's just not a very smart bike racer, I don't think.
He's a mountain biker.
Yeah, I don't even know why he was flicking me through, though. I'm like, dude, you're not going to get a draft. I think he was just trying to cause some drama because he knew I wasn't going to pull through. You know? Like, I'm leaning into it. I'm like, whatever.
Dude, you know what you
I don't
should have
care.
said? You should have used his for hire.
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
You should have said, dude, I'll hire you right now.
Yeah.
Stay on the front.
I'm hiring you to pull, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know what happened between Russell and Keegan?
Russell
it looked like a sprint finish, but
Nah,
I
I don't
think
know.
Keegan reminded Russell
not-
he's the boss.
Yeah. Yeah.
Something
I agree
happened
with
to
that.
Russell. I'm kind of thinking maybe this is the year of the return of Finsterwald, because
Dude,
he was behind me at the top of the climb, and I got on his wheel, and I couldn't even hold his wheel for like a minute. He was nuking it, and I'm like, dude, what happened?
on a downhill.
No, this was like, there was like a downhill and then a second little kicker climb, and I was with him on that second little climb, and he was nuking it. I was like,
Yeah.
something must have happened to him on the first part. Cause he caught back up and I got second. I was like, dang.
I mean, he was only like what 10 seconds behind Keegan.
I mean, yeah,
3
he was
seconds.
on the finishing chute when Keegan crossed the line. So I mean,
Yeah. Was it a sprint finish or no?
I mean, Drew can talk to it too, but it's like a false flat descent all the way to the finish,
For
like
6
4 or 5
miles.
miles of pavement.
But they changed it this year.
So yeah, I don't know what was the actual finish though.
It
Like,
was weird. I thought you just turned and went into the parking lot, because that's what they've had us do in years past. It's like a little chicane, and then there's the finish. This year they had us pass the parking lot and turn right, and you do this little off-road loop, and you hit this like gravel sand pit.
The sand pit.
Yeah.
Okay. I did that a few years
sucked.
ago. Okay.
I had to get off and walk it. I was like, what the crap is this? I'm like, the finish line's right there. You're going to make me walk my bike right here? So I bet Keegan just like nuked that section and got it.
That's how it was a few years ago when Keegan beat Chris Blevins in the sprint, and he basically beat him through that sand section.
Yeah. He probably just
they
floats
actually had a
right over
video
that
of it.
stuff, how small that guy is.
So it's probably like sort of a sprint finish, but sprinting in sand type deal.
Yeah, probably sketchy too.
They both had suspension forks on.
A lot of people did.
Yeah.
You think that's a good race for a suspension fork? I've never done it.
The only spot that it's not good for is the really big climb at the beginning, and then the rest of the race, it's probably beneficial. Yeah.
You think
Because they've taken out a lot of the road sections in the middle of the race, right?
Yeah, there's not a lot of pavement. Yeah, it's just a lot of pavement at the beginning. Like the first 15 miles is paved climbing, which kind of sucks. Like the mountain bike tires were great for the whole race except for the first 15 miles.
Oh, you had suspension. I forgot about that.
Yeah, mountain bike
how'd you
tires
like it?
and suspension. Yeah.
How'd you like the suspension fork?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
Okay.
All right,
I was
Dizzle,
glad I had
how many riders would you say in the pro field are on mountain bike tires now? Has the game changed?
I mean, definitely like the top, like a lot of the top guys are. What was Keegan on? Were those mountain bike tires or just 50s?
Mountain bike tires,
No,
yeah.
he was on like real mountain bike tires. He was on straight Aspens.
Oh, okay.
He's been running a 2.4 in the front of his gravel
Toby
bike.
was running 2.4s on that track.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that. The checkpoint, the newer checkpoint, he's got 2.4s on that thing.
Wow.
Dang.
Yeah,
In the back too?
I think so.
I don't think they fit in the back.
I don't think it'd be in the back.
Maybe he's got a
but
2.2 in the back, but he definitely
That's
has
what
a
our
2.4
listeners
in the
submitted
front.
that, so that he had a 2.4 in the front, a 2.25 in the back
maybe
is what it
that's
could
he's
fit.
got. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's pretty legit.
I mean, all the top guys are, but like, I don't know at what point do you stop considering it the elite field and like the
Okay.
line is kind of blurry there.
I would say
Wherever
top
you
10.
are,
Like,
probably.
who was the top 10?
Yeah, wherever Drew, where you finish is where the amateurs start.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then
So
top
11th
11
place.
was
Yeah.
well, then only the top 10 were pro. And I think all
The top 10 in the men's field was Keegan,
Lance,
Russell, Andrew Lesperance, Drew, Hugo
Lesperance didn't have mountain
Dreshow,
bike tires because his bike doesn't fit him.
Zach Carlton, Lance Haydette, Kyle Trudeau, Toby Rode,
Kyle
Luke
Trudeau is not top 10.
Mulsteller, and then Chase Work was your
Who's
top 10.
Luke
No.
Mulsteller?
Oh, sorry.
Bear
thinking of
National
Truman
kid.
Glasgow.
Okay.
All right, dude. What is the deal with Andrew Lesby being sponsored by 3T and not having the one that fits mountain
It's
bike
on
tires?
the way.
Okay,
It's like in shipping right now, like on a boat probably or something.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's on the way.
Glad you cleared that up, Dizzle. I was about to
I
talk
stayed with
mad
him at
shit.
that. I stayed with him at that Georgia race, and that was the first question I asked. Was like, "I hope you're getting the other one," and he's like, "Yeah, it's on the way." And then Lance Haydette, he was on a Crux, and I think he had a mountain bike tire in the front, but he's probably got those. Didn't you say that Specialized is about to drop a bunch of new tires? He's probably got some prototype tires, I'd imagine, right?
I think him and Sophia looked like they had some prototype tires in the back.
Sophia
we're
had a
running
mountain bike tire in the
mountain
front.
bike tire in the front.
Sophia had a mountain bike, like a Renegade up front,
Yeah.
which is what Lance had.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy to think about is Sophia won Leadville like 2 years ago with gravel tires on, and now for a gravel race, she's using mountain bike tires.
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, I did ride up next to her pre-riding Leadville. I think it was last year. It wasn't 2 years ago when she won. It was last year because I was like, "Oh, you took your gravel tires off," and she said to me, "She's like, yeah, it turns out they're slower." And I was like, "Oh, you don't say."
Dylan's like wants to be like, "I told you so," or like wants to say something so bad about it. Also so nervous to piss her off. Like
No.
you're not going to go up to Keegan and be like, "Yo, Keegan, those tires suck, bro."
Yeah, I will.
But
You
you'll
think
roll up to me and say it every day.
Dude, you think I give a shit about telling Keegan his
you
tires?
do. Yes, you do. Absolutely.
I will say the guys that got first and second were on some of the slower tires of the bunch. So
What do you mean?
Good luck to the rest of the guys.
Russell was on Race Kings.
Yeah, but he was on those
the
2.0s.
50 mils. Yeah, the 2.0s.
And the 2.0s are the slower compound, aren't they?
Yeah.
Why? Because he can't fit bigger, or
Yeah, I don't know if he's locked into the checkmate or whatever. Like he has to run that new one,
yeah.
I don't think so.
but
He's
he probably
he's not
he
on
probably
the
just doesn't- he
checkpoint.
probably just doesn't
Yeah, that's
listen to
not
the
great, man.
podcast. Why would he not have the checkpoint and Toby was on the checkpoint and they're teammates?
I don't know.
Yeah. I think he
the
probably thinks the
check-
checkmate with the 2.0s is faster.
The checkpoint is quite a bit lighter than the checkmate. Or the checkmate is quite a bit lighter than the checkpoint.
Weight doesn't matter, dude. Weight.
I agree,
You could be
but I'm just
1,000
saying,
pounds.
like
It doesn't
sometimes
matter.
people are dumb and that's like the most important thing to them. So
Yeah.
like the weight difference is substantial.
Well, didn't he just drop Drew on the climb?
I mean, yeah, like is that
So that's where the
really,
race was made.
Yeah, but
is that really
climb.
impressive though?
his talent bucket is way more filled up than mine. So I am okay with him dropping me on that climb.
Drew, did you get your new mountain bike yet?
Nah, I think I need to email him about that.
Chase got
Yeah,
his.
I know. Chase
saw
got
that.
his, and I ain't got mine.
I think after you talk shit about the mountain bike on this podcast, they decided not to say
I
it.
didn't say anything bad about it.
What mountain bike
you
is it?
guys did.
You were talking about how heavy it was
No, you
and
did.
how ugly
Shut
it
up.
was.
Bro, Felt doesn't even make a mountain bike. Let's just talk about all the crap wrong with your bike.
What's wrong with my bike, dude?
It's a felt.
Are you Dylan? Are you riding the Allied again this year?
No, I'm not.
No?
Mm-mm.
Okay. What are you riding?
I can't talk about it.
That bridge.
Oh, can you talk about it in like a month?
Is it Scott's Revel?
I mean, I'll be able to, yeah, Scott's loaning me his bike. I mean, I'll be able to talk about it eventually, just not right
That
now.
Lauf Elja.
Okay.
No, dude.
Oh yeah, and also
Definitely
Adam,
not.
you screwed up. They have a cross country version. They have a trail
I know
version.
someone sent me it, and you
Chase
know
was
what?
pissed.
It's like 1 pound lighter.
Yeah.
So everything I said still
Yeah,
stands.
Chase also said that. He's like, he was kind of mad that we didn't mention that there is a cross country option, and then he's like, yeah, but it basically weighs the same as the trail.
Yeah.
I had another guy this morning ask me for a promo code from Lauf. I'm like, dude, I wish there was a way to track this stuff. I'm selling bikes.
Wow,
You'd
so that's
have
like
literally
3 guys, man.
Dude,
You'd
I
have
know.
literally tens of
that's-
dollars.
That's a lot. Like, that's a lot of. I'm selling some bikes, dude. That's more. I'm not doing nothing.
They just asked you for a promo code. They didn't say they were going to buy anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe he was going to buy a water bottle.
Dude, so the big thing that everybody was freaking out about this morning was the fact that Bora is using deeper wheels on the front instead of a deeper wheel on the rear.
Yeah, I don't know why everyone's freaking out about that.
Yeah,
It doesn't
they're making a
like,
really
also,
big
you look
deal
at the
about
photo they posted, and like I'm like staring at it. I can't even tell a difference.
You're talking about Red Bull Bora, right?
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
the clothing company Bora.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, Red Bull Bora.
The team.
Sorry, let me get their sponsors correct for this podcast.
Yeah.
Have we just seen the start of the Road Mullet wheel set? That's Cycling News's
Now
headline.
I think
The Mullet
Peak
wheels.
Oh
Torque.
my gosh, you can't even tell at all.
Exactly.
It's the
They
same
look-
exact
They
thing.
look the same, dude. Dude, so Peak Torque, who's another cycling YouTuber, he's been saying this for a while that it makes way more sense to have the deep wheel in the front than the deep wheel in the rear.
It does from an aerodynamic standpoint. I think the reason that they haven't done that traditionally is the handling because of, wind and yaw
Crosswinds
angles and
yeah.
stuff. But it aerodynamically, it makes more sense. And I think in track, they've done this for a while.
Yeah. So like, if the aerodynamics of the front wheel matters more than the aerodynamics of the rear wheel because it's the first thing to hit the wind. And then also if you're concerned about weight and you're like, you want a faster accelerating wheel that's lighter, it would make more sense for the front wheel to be optimized for aerodynamics and the rear wheel to be optimized for weight.
Yeah.
I guess all of this is assuming that there's not insane crosswinds, but yeah, I don't know.
Trying to read up on this.
I don't know. I ran deep road wheels and I've never felt like they've been gonna blow me off the road or something.
I mean,
I don't know if I would agree with that.
Sometimes in crazy crosswinds, like it's sketchy.
Hold your handlebars.
You
hard.
definitely, yeah, but you can't say you don't notice it. Like it definitely affects
Yeah, but
your
you
handling.
also notice like the wind with a shallow wheel too.
Sure.
Yeah, but it's worse with a deep wheel. I'm not like, I kind of agree with you. It's like, just hold on
Just
to your
use
bike.
whatever's faster and hold your handlebars.
Yeah, but I wonder, like, when you're in the pack, though, if it gets kind of like exacerbated because you all of a sudden, it's kind of like when you're driving on the highway and all of a sudden a truck passes you and out of nowhere your car just like swerves to the left because you're not expecting it. What if you're like in the pack and all of a sudden like a little gap opens up and now all of a sudden you get that crosswind, you might not really be expecting it. But I also think aerodynamics
It's never
of
once
wheels
crossed my mind.
have improved a lot. So, it seems like one of those things where it's a trend from 15 years ago when carbon deep wheels first came onto the scene, and it's probably not as much of an issue anymore.
Scott, you should just start riding double disc wheels like Wout, but on your
Are
road
you
bike.
allowed to? I don't think you're allowed to.
I don't think you can run a full disc at all in the front or rear, but
In the road race?
in the road race, but you could run super deep wheels.
Run those head wheels that are made for triathlon. They're like basically a disc, but they got a small amount of spokes.
That's actually true. So if Chase Work can handle super deep wheels on the gravel bike? I mean, come on.
Dude, is Chase just bad at everything that has to do with biking? Sounds like it.
Chase says it's not.
He sucks at climbing. He sucks at handling his bike.
But he beat me this weekend.
Dude, so this is what Chase says about the deep wheels. He's like, I think most people talking about how deep wheels are hard to handle have never ridden deep wheels in their life because it's really not that big a deal.
And you're on gravel, so I mean, it's already washy anyways.
I do think like this this trend towards narrower bars is sometimes a tough choice. Like I went into the Arizona weekend with 36s and could definitely feel a lack of handling ability on all the single track. And I was like all weekend I was in the back of Chase's van, like there's no seats. I was just chilling in the back of his van. And I noticed he had some 38s just chilling in his van. And I'm like, I'm going to put these on my bike. He's like, yeah, sure. Whatever. And it made a huge difference. Like I went from like, this sucks to like, okay, now I can actually ride my bike. And I know it's only a 2 centimeter difference, but at some point I feel like you get too narrow and it definitely compromises your handling ability.
I rode 35s all last year.
Yeah, but you also didn't do like any.
You also lose every sprint you ever compete in,
and you don't do any technical gravel races. Like you don't do any of the BWRs where there's single track. Like
probably the most technical part of any of it would have been Mid-South single track.
Yeah, like you could I'm gonna run 36s at Mid-South because you only need them. Like you're only on those trails for 2 miles and. Unbound, there's no single track, so you get away with narrower bars. But I think these races where there's like a significant portion of really twisty turny or technical for a gravel bike trail, going a little bit wider is that's the conclusion I've come to is.
I think by the time this podcast comes out, I will have posted about my new bike. I've got the bars that I have on my new bike right now. I'm not positive whether I'm going to keep them on or not, but at the hoods, the narrowest point of the hoods, they measure 31.
Like hood to hood?
Yeah.
What about like center of grip to
center of grip? Did you send us a picture of the bike?
Mm-hmm.
So you're really committed to losing every sprint then?
Well, at the drops, they're 40 though, dude.
Okay. Oh, you got the flare.
they're mad flare.
What bars are these?
What are they at the top?
Flared.
You said.
Here, I'll show you guys a picture. I'm fairly certain I will have announced the bike already.
What are they at the top? You said.
31,
and then at the widest point of the drops, they're 40.
Oh, so you're going on those gravel bars?
That's gnarly.
See that?
Whoa!
Why are they shaped like that?
I don't know.
So you have to use a huge stem, but then the bar comes backwards. What's the point of that?
Okay, so you want the bar to cut. This is actually pretty smart. I should give this company a shout out. It's like, dang it, Roo Works, ROO Works, like a kangaroo.
Okay.
Delicious.
Thanks for that.
Anyway, so you want the bar to come back because, and I haven't spent enough time riding this bar to know this yet, but I am interested in trying it. And I'm not saying these bars are going to stay on my bike. I might hate them and take them off, but that's kind of what Speeco did with their Aero breakaway bar, where if the bar comes back, you can rest. If you're in the Aero hoods position, you can rest your forearm like deeper into your forearm. And then your triceps won't burn as much. I don't know if I explained that well or not, but
why don't you just do some upper body work or some core work?
I guess, yeah, I'm not following.
Okay, so when you're in the Aero hoods position, which means you've got, your elbows are at 90 degrees and you're resting your forearm on, like your hand is holding the hoods, but your forearm is resting on the bar. If the bar goes back, you can rest your forearm on a part of the forearm that's further back. So there's like less leverage on your forearm.
Oh, well,
it's kind of like being in Aero bars.
I understand what you're saying. But I don't get how that actually plays a factor here, because the position of where the hood is relative to that point on the bar looks to be the same to me.
What do you mean?
They just shift where the point on the bar where your where your hood clamps to it, that's just, the whole thing just shifted back. So there's no change from that point to where your contact point is with your forearms. I think the shape would need to be
no, there is
drastically different. Okay, maybe it's just hard to tell from the photos.
like, oh,
they look sweet. I mean, I like
it's
the
gonna
way
be,
they look.
honestly, I think it's going to be too hard for me to explain this without using pictures. But like your forearm contacts the bar at a point further up on your forearm, meaning there's less leverage on your forearm.
Yeah.
If you're resting,
so you don't feel the need. Like a lot of times when you're in that aero hood position, you feel the need to want to like move forward even more, just to like actually do the puppy paw position, because that's more comfortable, right? So you don't have as much of that desire, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I don't know. We'll see. Like, I haven't even, to be honest, I've only ridden this bike around the parking lot, and that's it. I haven't even taken it on a real ride yet. So I could not like the bars.
Oh, you know what? The ones that I was looking at are called the Aero Short Reach. Maybe that's not the right ones.
Yeah, no, the long reach ones, dude.
Okay.
The long reach ones.
Long stem and long dong reach.
Yep.
Got it.
Yep. And
okay, that would make more sense.
And that stem is a 150 mil.
Wow. What brand makes a 150?
I got that 152.
It's just a zip.
I didn't like
Yours is 152?
I ordered one, yeah.
It'd probably be cheaper if you just went to Lowe's and got a piece of like, I don't know, pipe.
PVC pipe.
All right, Dylan, it makes more sense now. Now that I pulled up the long reach one, that makes way more sense. These actually look pretty sick.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not Rue Works. It's Ascent.
Okay, I don't know what Rue.
Let me shout out this company and totally.
It says Rue Works
title
on the bar. I think maybe the company is Ascent. I should get it right. They did send me. They're not sponsoring me, but they did send me that bar.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, why are we talking about this company? They don't even pay us.
Yeah, they're not paying us.
Your wheels finally came in. That looked good.
I know, they look
custom. They match your bike.
I know.
That's super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool matching paint job on your wheels.
Dude, and
is
these
that
wheels,
why they were so late? Those stupid stickers?
I think that's the main reason why they were late. Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, these wheels, I have Schwalbe Thunderbirds on, which is a mountain bike tire. These wheels are almost as wide as the freaking mountain bike tire. They're so wide.
What is the internal width wide too?
28.
Okay.
So they just have a fat sidewall? Like, how's that work?
Dude, a really thick sidewall.
Is that really what it is?
Yeah.
The carbon's just like massive.
Oh, it's thick, dude. Yeah.
Are they heavy?
If that part of your
1,400 grams.
Oh, that's not bad.
If that part of your rim cracks, is it still good? Like the part where the tire seeds?
Depends.
Because I got like one little crack in one of my wheels from last year and I didn't notice it. I probably raced it for like half the year last year for all I know. But I was swapping wheels or tires. And I was like, dang, that sucks.
Trey told me that you ordered the zips.
Yeah,
the 303.
Fat Boys.
Yeah,
for the same reason that you just told us about your Fat Boys.
Yeah, I'm not criticizing you. I'm saying good job on your wheel choice, dude.
I'm going to smack my mountain bike tires on those because I figured the mountain bike tires would be more aero on a wider rim. So I also ordered some 808s.
What are those for?
Like gravel worlds where I'll run. Like anytime I would run a narrower tire, like a 40 or 45.
Yeah, but you know the 303 Explorer was meant to be run with a 40 or a 45.
Yeah,
like it's not meant to be run with a mountain bike tire.
Maybe I'll return the 808s then.
I would do that, yeah.
I think being teammates with Chase doesn't help.
Doesn't help your spending habits on wheels.
Like you just start thinking about like, oh, maybe this is better for this and this is better for this. And then you just it just gets too complicated. I just want things to be a little simpler.
Yeah.
You know, you've been friends with me for like, I mean, I don't know when our friendship actually started, but you started conversing with me more like 5 years ago.
Yeah,
why hasn't any of this rubbed off on you until you were friends with Chase?
Yeah, I know. I've wondered that same thing. There's something about his personality that's more convincing, I guess.
Wow.
I don't know. Dylan's got me pretty sold on these Aero long range bars, dude. I can't stop looking at them. I want these bars.
You don't even race at them.
I know, but I ride, and when I ride, I want to be comfortable.
I don't think these bars are made to be comfortable. I think
How
they're made to be
uncomfortable
Adam,
are
do you
you
know
when
what
just like
makes
a
you
normal
comfortable?
handlebar?
This is how you get comfortable right here.
Yeah,
Just straighten those arms out, buddy.
I know my arms are too long to be straight.
What? What?
My bars need for my arms to be straight. I have to be in the drops.
Oh, well then there you go.
I guess I could just ride the drops all the time. I hate riding in the drops.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, we sound like Trainer Road.
Trainer Road?
Have you ever
How do you know what
listened to
Trainer
one of
Road
their
sounds
podcasts?
like?
I've listened to it
You've
a
never
couple
listened to
times.
one of theirs.
Bro,
If
come
you
on.
listen to their podcast and you don't listen to ours,
Well,
that's
when Dylan
embarrassing.
was like shitting on him for that period of time, I was listening to it to like give him some material. When he made that video, and then they made the retaliation.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
if you want
Scott
some
was,
entertainment, go listen to the Trainer Road prior to Dylan's video, and then go listen to it after. They won't mention him by name, but the whole episode was about Dylan's video.
We watched it. We watched it live in Dylan's living room.
Exactly. Yeah,
Dude, Scott was living with me when I made that video, and I think I asked you. I was like, "Dude, should I make this video?" And you're like, "Fuck yeah, dude!" Fuck Trainer Road. And I was like, "You're
and they
right,
were
man."
so butthurt about it. Like, if you're actually that like confident in what you're saying, then
Just
you shouldn't.
Take
You're
it on the
confident in
cheek.
your product, then you shouldn't be that butthurt about somebody shitting on it, right?
Yeah, I agree. They definitely lost a lot of customers when I put out that video, and I only say that because those customers that they lost, like I had to put an automatic reply on my email saying, "I'm getting too many emails. I'm not going to be able to respond to you. Sorry."
You're just so popular, huh?
Mm-hmm.
and they took your monetization from it, didn't they?
No, GCN took my monetization from some video that I did where I used GCN clips.
Yeah, when you were dogging on JPOW and the keto thing.
Yeah, also deserved.
You're just so passionate about the truth that even if you don't make any money from it, you're still going to do it.
Well, I thought I was going to make money from it, and then they, I don't know,
flagged it.
Yeah.
So
unlike you, Drew,
you probably got
I'm
more
not-
strikes than I do.
Yeah, I've got one strike.
Oh,
Thank you.
Snap. Oh, snap. You got a strike. You better be careful, dog. You're about to get kicked off of YouTube.
Yeah, I was going to say, unlike you, Drew, I'm not all about the money. Like, I feel like if YouTube stopped paying me anything, like if YouTube was like, "Hey man, we're taking away your monetization, like no more money from us," I'd still make videos.
I don't make any money at YouTube and I still keep making my videos. So it's not even hypothetical.
But what? No, your channel's monetized.
Yeah, I know, but it's like,
But do you make your videos with the hope and intention of making money?
dude, I made a video 2 weeks ago. I lost 50 subscribers for a video I made 2 weeks ago. 50
What video
people
was
watched
it?
the video and was like, this guy sucks. And they unsubscribed from my channel. It was a net loss.
Mm-hmm.
It was a video
Yikes.
called Does God Abandon Jesus? So maybe that's why. It's a very serious theological question and debate. And I thought it would be a good topic for discussion. I had
Who did you discuss it with?
I lost subscribers,
Himself.
but I had myself. I had like 50 people comment and say they loved it. I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, Drew, what you got to realize about YouTube is that, like, if you have to fill a niche. And if you stray outside of the niche, there's going to be people who are like, what
This
the
isn't
heck?
why
I
I
didn't
subscribe.
subscribe
I
for
know.
baking videos. I didn't subscribe for DIY home videos. I didn't subscribe for Jesus videos.
Yeah.
I didn't subscribe to see this guy play with his kids.
You can make a second channel, can't you? Maybe I'll make a second channel.
Yeah, make a second channel,
that
bro.
Is all
Exactly.
about my Christian faith.
you
and
can make
athletics.
it, I think, as many channels as you
Nah,
want,
dude,
right?
you can only have 2 associated to the same Gmail account.
Oh,
Yeah. You'd have to
But
make
like-
a new Gmail account for more.
But like what I'm saying is your niche on your current channel is cycling.
Yeah.
So if you stray from that niche at all, it doesn't matter what it's about. Like it could be about anything. But if you stray from the niche, people are going to unsubscribe.
I was thinking
because they're
about
like,
making
I
it.
didn't subscribe for this.
I was already thinking about making a second channel because then I can still put out the Christian stuff I want to without hemorrhaging subscribers.
and I would think you'd get much better viewership that way too,
Yeah.
because like Dylan's saying, like
You'd have two
your
separate-
algorithm's already
Yeah.
trying to reach people that are cycling interested.
You're right, Adam. So then
Dizzle, why didn't you just call me before you made this video? I
Why?
could have told you all of this. And then you'd have 50 more subscribers right now.
that's okay.
Vanderpool's attacking
Ooh,
live.
what race is
Live.
going on?
Le
La
Semin.
Samin.
The Seaman?
You ever heard of it?
That's why Tyler hasn't said a single word the whole time. He's been watching this race. He's got
No,
his
they're bored doing
campfire.
other
He's got his campfire up on one screen and the bike race on the other. And
All
we're
right, if you
just,
guys are going to talk about stuff that bores me and Tyler, at least let us do other tasks while we're doing it.
Right. Why don't you give us?
Scott, I
Why don't
didn't
you
think
give
you
us
were
some
gonna be
live
here.
commentary?
No, I wasn't supposed to be.
well, we're glad
I don't know, I
we're
just
glad
pulled
you
it up.
are.
Are we going
Vanderpool's
to talk
attacking.
about? Are we going to talk about Valley of Tears this weekend?
We can.
I have a very small start list.
Ooh,
Wow, so
that was
Dylan has a
provided.
shot.
You had to
Maybe
email
they'll
the
come.
promoters to get this. So this is like inside scoop. We want our listeners to know how hard we try. So just so y'all know, Tyler went out of his way to get
When are
this
you going to start
start list.
trying, Drew?
Okay, if
Well-
somebody on this podcast gets the award for the least trying, it is you, Scott. You're like scrolling on Instagram half the time, dude.
Yeah, I'm giving us. This is literally live news media right now.
Which is old news by the time this podcast
Yeah,
comes out.
but
So way to
it's
be
about as
living the
good as
past,
it can
Scott.
Yeah. Well, I had feet on the ground this weekend at BWR Arizona, so I tried.
Yeah, but nothing is like interesting. That's the problem.
There were a lot of people that
It's
came
not
up
your
to me.
fault. It's just the nature
Like,
of gravel.
We're starting to be like noticeable. Like when I walked through the expo to get my number, a lot of people were like, "Yo, it's Dizzle," and I was like,
Oh, dude,
I was like,
look who's
whoa.
popular now.
it was crazy. I was like, it was really crazy. I'm like, dang, like it's really it's like every time I go to an event, I'm surprised at how many doofuses listen to this thing. And
Yeah,
that
well,
means they
how about we
watch it
not
too.
call them doofuses,
That
huh?
means they watch it too. They know what I look like.
Mm-hmm.
I probably walked past 10 people that if I had said something, they'd be like, "Oh, that's Dizzle," because they didn't know what I looked like.
all right. Can we get to the start list?
Yeah, that was the point. Tyler tries hard, so let's hear it, Tyler.
That's me, professional try hard. So, yeah, I asked Valley of Tears for a provisional start list so that we could talk about it. We could talk about the race. We could hype up the race. And they came through. So thanks for responding. If other gravel events want us to talk about their start list, we'll be happy to talk about them.
Yep, and they have to pay us cold hard cash if they want us to talk about
So,
it.
okay.
We want a code. We want
So
a
for
code
the women,
for
all I
every person.
have is Sophia, Cecily Decker, and Axel Dubois-Prevost.
Dude, that's Pauline Ferrand-Prevost's little sister.
No way.
Is it
I
really?
swear. Yeah.
And she's in the Grand Prix, right?
Oh, I don't know about that, but yeah.
I think she's in the Grand Prix.
Really?
I could be wrong.
Well, there's your dark horse.
Yeah.
Aren't you supposed to know?
I've never
How did we
heard
miss
of her,
that?
but I've heard of her older sister, so it's promising.
Yeah.
I think she reached out to one of the cross teams that I was on.
How
Being like,
young is
"This
this
who I
younger
am."
sister?
She's like 28, I think.
Okay.
I had to look up her name, but she got fourth this last weekend.
Yeah, 28.
Nice.
Fourth at BWR.
Fourth at BWR. She's on the same team as I believe Hugo Drechot. They have a new gravel team.
They're both in the. He's in the GP too, right? I think he is. Yeah.
I don't know. I think so. Another mountain biker. Sorry. We also have, this is all kind of mixed up. So we also have Emily Newsom, Lauren Stevens, and that's all that I have listed for the women right now.
Lauren Stevens.
Lauren Stevens. Yeah, it's,
All right, Lauren Stevens versus Sophia. What do we think? I'm assuming
pick Lauren.
those are the 2 picks for the win.
every
Is
day.
LDC going to be there?
I did not get that information.
I can't remember.
All right, Tyler, what'd you say?
Huh?
Who's your pick?
I said I'm picking Lauren Stevens.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I mean,
That's a
Sophia
tough one.
looked like she was in good shape at BWR. Like it looked like she wasn't even trying hard.
What's the format? Is there a separate women's start?
There is a crit the night before. That's a real race. I want to know who wins that.
You think they're going to live stream that?
Hopefully the live stream is better than the BWR live stream. That stream sucked.
They don't do a
We
live
have,
stream.
like,
Don't they just do like Instagram stories?
and some other people.
And their updates sucked.
Well, better than
Yeah,
nothing,
it is.
Adam.
I mean,
dude, you always
if any race
Nancy.
wants to hire me to do their live updates, I'm open to
You
it.
did it once. It was pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
We got to get you a drone so you can actually get out there and get real footage.
dude,
Can you do live
Dude, you don't
drone
have to twist my
footage?
arm to buy a
Hard.
drone.
Scott's already shopping. He's got a tab.
I'm
up.
on Temu looking at them all the time.
Add that to your
If
list
anyone
of
has bought a
hobbies.
Temu drone and has any reviews, actually anything on Temu, chainsaws, anything cool, send me a DM.
Refrigerators, saunas.
Couches.
Oh, I got that sauna from Amazon last week, and like the one that I had ordered that I couldn't cancel, and I had to return it to UPS, and I felt like such a jerk, like for dropping off.
Why?
It was a massive box, and I had to like
Who
get
cares,
the dolly.
dude? It's
and
UPS's job.
I felt
man.
bad. I was like, this guy's just trying to put.
Did you get free return shipping too?
It was like $6 to return it.
What?
They even offered me. So this is a trick maybe, but Amazon. When I went to go cancel it, they were like, "We'll give you $200 if you just keep the thing." Like,
How much was it?
it was like $1,000, and so they were like,
You spent $1,000 on a whim on Amazon on a sauna? That's worse than the shit I buy.
"Yeah, but I returned it, and now I built one on my own because I think it'll be better." But anyways,
I want to
Probably
build one
won't
with
be.
now that we're on this tangent, with wood.
Keep taking us there.
Wood fired.
Sketch.
Like outside.
okay,
So if it burns down. And then put it on a trailer so you can like move it around.
yeah, you could do that.
So if it burns down, hopefully I'm not in it.
Well, you can get out and then just let it burn.
And it's a bonfire. Then you just have marshmallows in the car at all times. And you're ready to go.
It's like our annual thing.
All right, back to the start list. Sorry.
Yeah, so
Sorry.
then
You think
So
I could
then-
roast some marshmallows
ADHD.
over my sauna heater while I'm in there?
All right.
no.
You definitely could.
Oh,
So
snap.
who
That's a
are you guys? I mean,
changer.
from that start list, is everybody picking Sophia, or are you going to pick Lauren? You going to pick a
No,
dark
I mean,
horse?
I think that's actually
yeah.
I think that's actually a tough call. It depends on how technical the course is. Because if the course is at all technical, I'm
think it
going
is.
Sophia. If it's not technical, I'm going.
I think Lauren Stevens
Actually, I think
is
Chase-
kind of sneaky good at handling her bike.
I think Chase did
Yeah,
say
but
that
not
they
better than
added
Sophia.
some minimum
No.
maintenance roads into the race to make it a little more
Yeah,
challenging.
I saw a video this morning that made it look pretty sick. There was like a pretty fun single track, it looked like. But then there's
Also-
also pictures of like 60 miles straight gravel roads.
Okay, this might change things. I'm going to check the weather real quick. Last time I checked the weather, there's a chance of rain.
Ooh.
You think this is going to get second again
What?
this year? I think there's a chance of that happening.
Well, let's wait on the men. We're not talking about the men yet.
Sorry, my bad. Sorry.
I did see one of our listeners did send us something about last year. They had some kind of bat tunnel that was part of the race course,
Dude,
and it's like
race day
literally
looks-
it's literally a tunnel that is like infested with bats, and people were having to ride through bat shit, and some people like fell into heaps of bat shit, like a pile of bat shit.
That shit's some nasty shit.
I know,
That's
yeah, like
nasty.
people were getting sick from it and stuff. Yeah,
Did they not include that this year? Hopefully.
they took that out.
All right.
That sounds awesome.
Race day looks, dude. You know what's crazy is every single day this week is like 70s, 80s, 60s, like sunny. The only day that looks like bad weather is race day, and it's going to be a low of 31 and a high of 41 and 70% chance of rain.
Whoa.
I'm
High
glad
of
I'm not doing
41?
that.
Dude, maybe that's how I
sounds
do an
horrible.
event. I'll do a gravel event at the Mammoth Cave. There's like 500 miles of caves in Kentucky. I could just do
That would be cool.
the only gravel race in a cave, underground,
Like a true underground
gravel. That's what we'll call it.
Yeah, that would be sick. You should definitely do that.
Sick. I wonder if that's possible.
All right, so back to something actually interesting. So for the men, wait, what's the Friday forecast? You said it's rainy and
Friday forecast is sunny.
Wait, hold on. We didn't finish
wait.
the women yet. We needed. I think that weather forecast changes it.
Changes it to Sophia.
I don't know if either of them. I feel like there's
What
going
do
to
you
be.
mean either of them? Like they're both going to race.
Well, I know they're both going to race, but
You're saying some other rider is going to take it if it rains.
like, who's the hard mofo in that group?
Are you saying Sophia's not a hard mofo?
I don't know. I'm asking the question. I'm not saying anything.
It's going to be
It is a separate pro women's start. They start 5 minutes back.
It is going to be a hard mofo race if it rains because apparently, from what I've been told, the gravel in Turkey, Texas is not dissimilar to the gravel in Oklahoma.
Mid-South, yeah.
So,
dude, this race course looks sick. Who was who else was on there? Tyler?
we have Cecily Decker, Axel Dubois-Prevost, and Emily Newsom, in addition to Lauren and Sophia, is the confirmed start list.
I'm going to go with Sophia.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Lauren Stevens.
Ooh, nice.
So then transferring over to the men.
Wait, I want to pick.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, welcome back, Scott.
We just assumed you didn't care.
I'm going to go somebody that they didn't include on the start list. So
The field.
an unnamed,
Ooh.
unknown rider that they didn't send you.
All right. So as we switch over to the men.
Hold on, I didn't pick, dude.
Jeez. What do you guys
All right,
do?
I'm gonna pick this Axel chick.
Okay.
I'm assuming she's got some kind of cyclocross background, which I think could help.
Okay.
She's got a Pinarello though. What kind of gravel tires can she fit on that? Oh, I guess if it's gonna
She's got mountain bike tires on in this first picture.
I guess if it's gonna rain, doesn't matter. Just running some
Yeah, hopefully running some
42s
slippery
or
boys.
smaller. Does have a cyclocross background. Got some interesting results here. Finished
Going with it.
24th in Leuven, but that was 2018. Anyways,
Kind of trash.
yeah. For the men, we have Keegan, Russell, Borselman, Toby, Tobin, Hugo Drescho, Alex Howes, Dylan Johnson, Adam Roberge, Simon Nordahl Svensson, Ryan Standish, and Chase Vork is the confirmed start list so far as of Tuesday.
So not super deep, but pretty stacked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Top two heavy.
Yeah. I mean, Simon Nordal Svensson, didn't he beat Keegan at Big Sugar?
Maybe.
He's the
A lot of people
gravel
beat
world
Keegan.
champ.
Yeah. No, I mean,
But so here's the thing. I mean, I feel like Roberge, and I haven't kept up with his racing career too much, but I think that he is a rider that seems to excel in like tough conditions. Is that wrong?
I don't know about that.
Like a cold, hard, wet day.
I guess a cold day. I mean, he's coming from training in Canada all winter.
cold is good for him. I don't know. I don't. Did any of these riders do Mid-South when it was the mud year?
Not Keegan.
I don't know if any of them did it. Like literally, I don't know if any of them on the start list did it. When it was the mud year.
I don't know. I feel like some of these guys were still in like middle school that year. So.
What year was that? 2020?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2020.
I'll look that up real quick.
I got it.
No, I got it.
No, I got it, bro. Yeah,
right.
dude, that's a wild year. Payson won, Colin Strickland second, Jonathan Baker was third, ahead of Pete Stetna. Dizzle, dude, you were seventh.
For what?
Mid-South in 2020.
Yeah, the year before that I was third, bro. Come on.
Listen to this. Dizzle got 7th in 6 hours and 55 minutes.
It was muddy that year, dude. The year before we did The year before we did it in 5 hours.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That's how wild the conditions were.
Difference. It sucked.
Yeah, that's
I rode with
crazy.
All day that day. I rode with Quadsworth. He was like super nice. Talked to me all day. And then at the end of the day, we saw that dude that was Payson's teammate for a couple years, some European guy. I don't remember his name, but
Dennis Van Winden.
Dennis. Yeah, he was right ahead of us, and I wasn't about to catch this guy. But I was like, dude, Quadsworth, you could probably catch that guy and get 5th place. And he's like, nah, man, I'm going to finish with you. And I'm like, don't be a doofus. Go catch that guy. He's like, all right, I'll go. And he just pedaled away from me, caught the guy, and got 5th. I'm like,
I see that. Yeah, they have him as unknown racer, but it's definitely Quadsworth.
He could have probably gotten he probably could have done better if he didn't stay with me all day.
I feel like that was the year. Maybe it was the year before. Or after that Brian Lewis got called plaid shirt guy.
Yeah.
No, that was at Oz Trail Off Road in like 2018.
He won the Fat Tire crit, didn't he? And they didn't know his name.
Dude, it was so funny. I remember it. The announcer goes, all right, we got Howard Grotz, Keegan Swenson, and some big guy off the front.
Shout out to Brian.
He's kind of another one that's not quite as cool as Cameron. What was
Dodge?
Cameron Dodge. But Brian Lewis was another hitter that kind of flew under the radar.
Yeah.
He was notorious for like, hey, Brian, how you doing? He's like, man, I suck. I haven't ridden my bike in a month. And then he just smokes you in the race. And you're like, yeah, dude, you're lying to me. You're such a liar. I don't believe you.
I don't think that's nearly as cool. I actually don't think that's cool at all to be like, oh yeah, like I'm out of shape. And then you're actually in shape. But I was going to say, I don't think that's nearly as cool as what Cam Dodge would do, which is where he would just say that his race went okay and he won the race.
And his name was
slobbing on Cam Dodge's
name. That's just such a cool name. Like, man, I wish I was that cool. Like every time I think of him, I'm like, dude, how can I be more like him? He's so cool.
Dude, we need to change the topic before Dizzle and I go on a 20-minute.
I hope the Google searches for Cameron Dodge have just skyrocketed since we've been talking about him.
They probably have.
Somebody needs to find him and convince him to come back to racing.
All right, so no one in this race seems like they were at Mid-South. Dude, Ben Delaney took 12th at Mid-South that year.
Whoa, he races? Dang.
I guess.
Wow.
Yeah, okay, so I mean, I feel like Keegan is a good pick because Keegan's a hard man. If it's terrible conditions, he doesn't care.
Is this for Texas?
Yeah, Texas.
Yes. Will it be super muddy like it is in Oklahoma?
Yeah, it will be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently the gravel in Texas, in this part of Texas, is very similar to Oklahoma. So.
Okay.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it. Do you think Keegan would make the mistake of running too big of tires?
No.
Okay.
Nah.
I don't think so.
I doubt it. I mean, that he seems pretty like detail oriented, or at least like the team around him is. And I'm assuming that he would not make that mistake if presented with the opportunity or the conditions.
Yeah, I think he'd run the right bike setup, and I think he would not give up mentally. Like,
is Roberts racing this weekend?
Just plow through. Yeah.
Have you been listening at all?
No, he hasn't, dude. He was like freaking checking his phone.
Where'd Scott go?
Yeah, I mean, it's so tough. I mean, these early season races, like obviously Keegan comes in with really good form. Russell is obviously seems to be kind of trending in the right direction. I don't know. It remains to be seen.
Come back here.
I don't know. I mean, it could be like Borselman seems like he could be a dark horse. Not really a dark horse, but just big engine, like if he gets out front, and it's only 94 miles.
I'm pretty unimpressed with him this past weekend, but I guess there was a lot of trail.
Yeah, Borstman's not good at handling his bike, but if in the type of race that suits him, he is so strong. Like a Mid-South, so strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and this seems to be more of aligned with Mid-South. Like you don't have that sand section anymore. And then everything else from the course just looks like it was road or gravel.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
course preview.
I think Borstman's a good dark horse pick. I feel like every year at Mid-South, Borstman is the strongest. He just hasn't won because it usually comes down to a sprint, and maybe he doesn't have the best sprint out of the riders that are left. But if you were to look at his power file versus everybody else, I bet he does the highest power of the race, which is not that like that's not good bike racing tactics, obviously, to have the highest power of the race. I'm just saying if somebody had it, it would be him.
Yeah. So who's your pick then? I mean, okay. If everybody would pick Keegan, I'm assuming, to win the race. Or are you is anybody going to go out on a limb?
Did you say Simon Nordal-Svensson's there?
Yeah,
I did.
I say him.
Okay.
That's actually a good pick too.
All right, I'm going to go on a different limb, and I'm going to go with Toby Road.
He sucked at BWR this weekend too.
Jeez, dude.
Not sucked, but like he didn't do as good as I thought he was going to do. He got like 7th or 8th, and he was riding with Chase at the end.
Yeah.
But I don't
Simon
know.
Nordal. I think Simon Nordal-Svensson's actually good. Like if you're not going to pick Keegan, I think that's a good pick.
And I think Toby is like, in his own words, he's like been skiing a lot lately, and he's kind of using these first few races as training. Is like he's getting back in shape right now.
Perfect.
I'm just imagining something
like
mid-race happens.
I'm training my guts out, and he's over
like
here skiing.
like mechanical or something like that.
Well, so like looking at the weather forecast, it shows like light rain in the morning and then potential for heavier showers in the afternoon, and it's a late start. So, you know, if conditions drastically change halfway through the race.
Yeah. Yeah. It just remains to be seen in terms of like how the weather kind of plays out. And changes the conditions there. I mean, also too, it just brings in all the mechanical issues that you could run into.
Mm-hmm. Dude, it kind of sucks that every single day.
Talking to your mic, buddy.
It kind of sucks that every single day before and after the race are like the perfect race conditions, and then the actual race day could not be worse.
Just you should just come in and prioritize Friday night's crit. It's going to be perfect conditions for that. No one will see it coming.
You could give so much priority to that, and it wouldn't help at all.
I'm not even giving priority to that.
Are you going to
Can
do
you
it?
change? You have to.
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
You have to do it if you want prize money, but maybe Adam or maybe Dylan doesn't think he's going to be in the prize money.
You have to start it. You have to start it if you want prize money. You can start it and then pull out, actually.
Is it a gravel
you
crit?
Quitter.
Well, I didn't say I'm going to do that. I'm saying you could do that.
Trying to see if it shows anything about what bike you can run.
It didn't. We looked this up last week.
Okay.
So you taking your road?
So you could run whatever, but I don't know.
They're calling it an off-road crit, right?
It just said crit.
It says dirt. It says dirt crit.
Dirt crit.
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
that just sounds sketchy. Like if there's dirt and if there's just a little bit of dirt in a turn in a crit, it's sketchy. And you're going to put a whole crit on dirt? Like that's just
no. Dude, just think about cyclocross. I mean, like think if you had a cyclocross course that was just a circle.
No. Cross is different because it's like the speeds are slower because all the if it's a true crit course where it's like a 4-corner crit and you're bombing down the straightaways into these turns, it'll be sketchy. Cross is not like that.
Yeah, but you could treat mountain biking like that, but you don't because you know that you're traction limited, right? I mean, you have to stay within the confines of like what you're.
A dirt road and trail are totally different. Like,
I mean, like
listen to this though. It says the course is mostly closed, meaning that we will have some level of traffic control.
No.
However, sometimes cars can get on the course, so it's up to riders to keep their heads up. What?
What is this? A UCI 2.1 race? What the heck?
There's this
cars
series
coming
in
the
Kentucky
wrong direction.
called, it's called the Open Road Series. It's like road racing that happens on open roads. I'm like, that sounds terrible. Why would you?
I mean, that sounds like a group ride.
Yeah, it does. Why would you do that?
It says no aero bars or mountain bike straight bars will be allowed. But it doesn't say anything about like you could run whatever bike you wanted. It doesn't say you have to run the same bike as Saturday.
Drop bar hardtail, dude. That's it. This weekend, dude. Throw some slicks on that bad boy. Ooh.
No, dude, you don't want slicks on this dirt crit.
Pump those bad boys up to 80, dude. 80.
You're talking about for Saturday. That could be a decent play for Saturday.
Oh yeah.
I think he's talking about the crit.
I think he was too, about the crit.
I know. Did you bring your drop bar hardtail?
No.
What?
I did not.
I thought you slept with that thing, dude.
Oh, you don't even have a drop bar hardtail anymore.
No, I don't. Yeah. I still have my drop bar mountain bike in my shed, but I did not bring it.
Okay.
Yeah. Not sponsor, correct.
What tires will you run if it actually stays with rain in the forecast?
I brought a bunch of different tires that I could choose from, but I don't know.
Can I borrow some the weekend after?
Debatable.
Tyler, you know, yeah. Are you ready for the run, Tyler?
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Oh, okay.
All right, so back to Dylan's tires.
I like Tyler keeping it on track.
Sorry.
So I have Pathfinders. Like I've got 42 Pathfinders. I think that if it's really muddy, I might go 42 Pathfinders. I do have narrower than that. I've got 35s actually.
In what tire?
Pirelli Cinturato.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. That's what Tyler used to run. 35 Pirelli Cinturatos. Before he got a real gravel bike.
Still probably going to have to run 35 Pirelli Cinturatos.
Well, I think Mid-South will be fine.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. So I started subscribing to a snow report app called Open Snow, and they give you like long-term ski forecasts. And right around like the weekend of the 14th or 15th, Colorado is supposed to get they're forecasting snow to come through. So
are you on the fence about dipping?
What's the you're talking about going skiing instead?
No, I'm talking about like if you watch that weather pattern, if Colorado and New Mexico is getting snow on like the 13th or 14th, then that shit's coming to Stillwater on the 15th.
Yeah.
What are you, a freaking weatherman? What are we talking about the weather for? We don't know. We don't even know about bike racing. We're not talking about the weather.
I mean, I've got a 10-day forecast here, and it shows it's going to be 60 and 0% chance of rain.
Dude, if both these races back to back are absolute mud fests, I think I'm just going to throw my bike away after this race block.
Yeah. I would.
As you should. As you should.
Or you could probably sell it on that bicycle place.
Then you'd have to wait another 3 months for some new wheels to show up.
I know. I know.
No, I don't think it doesn't. I mean, the forecast for Mid-South doesn't look bad at all.
We'll see. We'll see.
I know it could change.
Yeah,
it's
Tyler,
like almost 2 weeks from now.
I thought you were saying you were about to just go to Colorado and go skiing instead.
I mean, I might. That sounds like it would be more exciting than 7 hours of mashing
the running. Just has
gears at Mid-South.
The running.
Do you want to borrow my single speed? Anyone?
Dude, yeah, might ship it down.
So anything else we want to talk about with Valley of Tears? Who's your Friday night crit pick?
Tobin.
Tobin. Yeah, that would be a good one.
Tobin would be a really good pick,
Tobin.
actually.
You want crit? You want someone that's got some crit chops?
Lance probably is.
You know why else Tobin would be a good pick is because Tobin's not a good pick for Saturday, so he probably has less stake in the game for Saturday. So why not just send it?
Keegan might work for him for the crit, and then vice versa on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm keen. I hope that they have decent updates so that we can see what the crit was like. I just imagine doing something like, can you imagine some gravel race out there should do this. They should do like a Diegem style crit where it just is like you bomb through an alley, back out to like an open road, through some gravel or through like some grass or something like that.
An
in the park.
short
like
track.
Just make it
urban
cool.
short track.
Exactly. Yeah. Not like Sea Eliminator, but like just urban short track race.
That would be cool.
That would be sweet.
That would be fun. Sweet.
Make sure everybody signs a liability waiver before.
Have an A-line that shoots you up.
It'll be interesting to see. I think they had pretty decent coverage last year in terms of updates. So hopefully the same this year so we can follow along.
For the crit?
No, for both.
They didn't have
I think Volunteers had good.
I didn't think they had a crit last year.
No.
I think I do remember this race was one of the races that had better live coverage during the Saturday race, though.
Yeah, I think so.
That's how we got to see Chase take Keegan out in the feed zone.
That's why they banned aero bars.
Yeah, I mean, Chase seems on good form too. So I think your teammate's in line for some good results. It's
I saw that he hired a coach again.
Yeah.
Was it you?
No.
Oh. Yeah. Does he know about Ignition Coach Co?
I guess not. It's literally on his butt. Bora messed up our pockets. Like everything else got right, but somehow they took our pockets on the back of our skin suits and swapped them.
Did you guys see Alexi's 55-hour training week?
What?
55 hours in a week.
No.
I think he takes the crown for the biggest week this offseason.
Was he just bike packing?
Does he count
I don't know.
like dog walking in there too? That doesn't count.
I don't know what he counts. Go to his Instagram right now.
Oh, it's on his Instagram. I was going to say, if he didn't post about it, then it didn't happen.
No, it happened, dude. He did it and he posted about it.
Well, yeah, you got to post about it.
Okay, well, on his Strava, he has back-to-back weeks of 23 hours and 24 hours.
Oh.
So that's not 55 hours there. And that's over 2 weeks. So I don't know what you're smoking.
Oh, maybe I am smoking.
But I did see this. Oh, how do I do this? For all of our listeners.
All right, look at this. It says 7-day total. Cycling 7-day total.
Where are you seeing this at?
Am I tripping right now?
March 1st. No, February 15th through March 1st. Think of that. That's like 16 days.
Oh, you're right. That is 16 days. Why does it say cycling 7-day total?
Way to go, Training Peaks.
I don't know.
Wow, here I am thinking.
Wait, did Alexi really post? Did he post that as if it was a big deal?
Dude, just read the comment. Another proper 2-week camp in Arizona. Are you an idiot? You don't know how to read, Dillman?
Okay, but no, I do know how to read because if you look at the top, it says cycling 7-day total.
All you had to do is see maybe he mentions something in the comment, and he does.
I know.
2-week camp.
I actually did read it, and it said 2-week camp, and I was like, okay, he was there for 2 weeks, but at some point in that 2 weeks, he had a 7-day total of 55 hours.
In that comment, when it says he started going to Tucson when he was 16 years old, that was me and him on our road team. We went there when we were 16 years old and did a road camp.
Yeah,
nice.
I actually don't know why he's posting about that. That's just 2 25-hour weeks back to back.
That's
pretty standard.
Yeah, that's
pretty standard.
It's like soft, dude. What are you doing?
I went from being super impressed to just like...
Yeah, you were about to change your entire training plan based on that.
Dang, dude. Wow.
So that's how you do it. You gotta do it 2. Somehow you gotta get it to be 2 weeks to where it pumps up the number so that it looks really good. I could do that.
Well, the only reason it looked good is because it said cycling 7-day total at the top, but it wasn't 7 days. It was 2 weeks. I don't know how he did that. I think he photoshopped it or something. Anyway, we don't need to talk about that because that was way less impressive than I thought it was. We can move on to listener questions.
All right. Well, all the people that have access to listener questions are not paying attention. So we're just...
Yeah, what is that?
What do you want to talk about?
What is
DJ?
Adam? What is Adam doing right now? Is he frozen or something?
Ketoned in.
No, I was trying to read Scott's message because he just dipped out of nowhere, but he said he had another meeting to go to.
Dude, who cares where Scott is, man? We need you to pull up the listener questions.
Maybe he and Boz are collabing on their...
and it talks about me and Scott, so I was trying to All right. So this is from our Patreon. Someone commented and said, listening to Scott and Adam basically shit on the Chung method without understanding how it even works, and then have Drew say he's just going to do whatever Keegan does, which basically amounts to riding slow tires that it doesn't seem like he's even raced on, just confirmed to me that Dillman will continue to find and maintain equipment advantages with gravel racing for years to come. Great episode. Keep it up, fellas.
Thank you. Did John write that comment?
Who's John?
The guy who was on the Escape Collective podcast.
Oh no, this was Antimatter Death Ray. Maybe that's John.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, dude. Whoever you are, Antimatter Death Ray. Yes, correct.
So then this same person also submitted this topic and said, and they submitted an article that Sarah Sturm wrote about how you win the Lifetime Grand Prix and why I left.
Okay.
I didn't know Sarah Sturm left the Lifetime Grand Prix.
Where you been, dude? You been living under a rock?
When did we talk? We've never talked about that.
Well, we didn't talk about it, but you know.
Did it just happen recently?
I don't know.
Because wasn't she picked for the Lifetime Grand Prix, right?
Well, what's this guy's question?
Okay, so it says, doesn't seem like the Bonk Bros look at this questions page. Oh, well, he's talking about this. I'm reading it right now, dude. I'm reading it. I do look at it. But he says, this was an interesting article from Sarah Sturm. Be curious to hear your thoughts on it. And the amount of commitment the Lifetime Grand Prix requires, and if it's worth it versus only doing Unbound in Leadville and then focusing on other gravel events.
I mean, I personally think it's worth it. I think it's like, I think the sponsors absolutely love it. Regardless of what the sponsors like, I personally think that it's really cool that there's one overarching series, and you kind of have this goal for the whole year, as opposed to just little goals spread throughout. I think that's super cool. I know that I know the Lifetime Grand Prix leaves a bad taste in some riders' mouths, and they're like, oh, it's just like way too much commitment. Like, I don't want to commit my whole season to this. I want to do this and that. And that's fine. Like, I mean, to each their own, but I feel like it's kind of nice to have a unified goal for your year. And it's only 6 races. Like, you can do other races. You don't have to do only Lifetime Grand Prix races. It's not like it's 15 races. It's 6 races. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah, but I haven't read this article. I'm guessing somewhere in the article it talks about how if you want to do well in the series, you have to focus solely on the series.
Yeah. What's wrong with that, man? Like, if you want to do well in something, you got to focus on it.
Hasn't Keegan won the series, and he's also done like multiple BWR races. Hasn't he done Road Worlds in the same year that he's won the Lifetime GP? He's done Gravel World Championships. And he's done the GP, and he's won every year. Maybe I'm sure he's an exception, but
he is one of the guys that usually people other than Dylan will look at and say they don't do a lot of racing outside the Grand Prix. But like you said, he still probably does.
Yeah, he's done gravel
at least half a dozen big races outside of it.
Yeah, you can do well in the series and do other stuff too. I mean, I get what she's saying. Like, you know, if you want to do well in the series, you got to focus on it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, if you want to do well in anything in life, you got to focus on it. So
wow, that's some wisdom right there.
Words to live by.
Yeah, seriously. Wow.
Deep thoughts with Dylan Johnson.
Dang,
I feel like
thoughts with Dylan Johnson.
I feel like that's just obvious, right? Like, if you want to be good at something, you got to focus on it. You got to practice it. You can't just sit on your ass, you know?
Dude, if you want to seize the day, you got to wake up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Dang.
I never heard that before. That was amazing.
Just made
you
it
want
up.
to seize the day, you got to wake up. Oh my God. That has to be the best tagline of, oh my gosh. That's awesome. You really just made that up?
Yes.
Tyler, Drew, you're a little. I agree it was good, but you're a little too excited about it.
That's so good. I'm already thinking of like, we need magnets with that on it, and I might get it tattooed on me.
Maybe bed sheets.
If you want to seize the day, you got to wake up.
So she talks about, I'm like skimming through the article here, and she basically talks about how the overarching pressure of performing well in the series as a whole she thinks takes away from individual performances throughout the year.
Okay.
So she gives the example of, for World Cup mountain bike circuit, there's the series standings, but any single win in a World Cup trumps basically your overall series ranking, unless you win.
Who said this?
This article from Sarah Sturm.
Oh, Sarah Sturm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
But
yeah, I mean,
again, it's like you sign up for, I mean, that's what you sign up for, right? You're signing up for the series.
I think people complain too much.
I mean, I think she's just giving her own and there's nothing wrong with, like, if she doesn't want to do the series, she doesn't have to do the series. I think she's just giving her own personal reasons for why she doesn't want to do it, you know?
Right. I don't think she's being critical necessarily of this series. She's just sharing her experience with it.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. I mean, you know, if you're not into it, then that's fine. Yeah. I don't know. People do. I will say, people do throw a lot of criticisms at the Lifetime Grand Prix. And I'm not saying that they're immune from criticism, but I think they're doing a fucking good job.
Yeah. Might not be perfect, but what I saw something, I heard something really good. Don't, oh, darn it. What was it? Don't, dang it. I wrote it down.
Hold on. The enemy of good.
What?
Don't let perfect be the enemy of good.
Tyler, how did you know that? Coming in clutch. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. And I wouldn't even say the Lifetime is just good. It's great. Like, but because it's not perfect, people crap on it all the time. I'm like, and this is from somebody who's not even in the freaking GP. Like, also, if the GP didn't exist, what would there be? Like, there's so much. I think they're adding a lot. I mean,
also people love to hate whatever's at the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
very true.
So true.
Whoever's at the top gets the most hate. So
Keegan doesn't seem to get a lot of hate though.
Yeah, it's true. You get more hate than Keegan does.
A lot of hate. I'm at the freaking bottom. That doesn't make any sense.
All right, I got to bounce. You guys want to keep going?
No, end it because I got to start driving.
All right. Okay.
See ya.